Blog Talk Radio.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, from Covington, Oklahoma, South North Street, school is now in session with their on. And here is your teacher and host, Sean Stopp.
Welcome back to Dreams Where You Check It Out. Welcome back. Hey, class. Here we all are. I'm surprised to see you all. Same bad time, same bad channel. Class is hereby in session. Good evening, Blog Talk Radio guests. To you're on. I am your host, Sean Stopp. You may remember me as the evil, diabolical supervillain, King Tut, from the 1960s Adam West TV version of Batman. Very strange night on this Wednesday. Straight up 10 o'clock on the p.m. Lots of spore in the air. So much, in fact, that when the wifey and I went grocery shopping yesterday afternoon, that our bloodshot eyes looked like Cheech and Chong going down Highway 420. You know what I mean? You're On is now in its episode number 2 stage of metamorphosis of season 1. And to kick things off tonight in our classroom, students, we have a superstar coming to us live and direct from the 918 in the Quah, my old stomping grounds. We have on the program United Wrestling Entertainment's former heavyweight wrestling champion, Fuel, in the house. He's going to be flying off that top rope and into You're On to spread some Fuelemania, brother. Dig it? Rest in peace, Macho Man. I love you. First, thank you for the overwhelming response via email, text, Facebook about episode 1. There were so many more of you out there listening than I thought. I said contact me. You did just that, and I even got a negative response from a former Grandview alumnus who was offended by my episode 1 comment. I would apologize, but Mom and Daddy raised me not to lie because that's not nice. So I'm not going to be name-calling, Grimace. All right? So for those of you out there who are just joining the show and have no unearthly idea exactly what in the H-E double horse hockey sticks I am chirping into your lobes about, check out our official website at www.wix.com/Sean Stopp/You're On. If you go to the podcast section, you can listen to episode 1 anytime you want and hear that comment. But basically, hear the guest. My shout-outs to Leotis Hall last week. We had a great show. And in about an hour, if you go to the website, you'll get to hear this one too. And you can hear it anytime. And to shoot me an email, it's youronbtr@ymail.com. My Twitter is /You're On with Sean, all one word. In saying that, I said if you followed or added, I would give you a social networking shout-out. So here comes the social networking shout-outs. For starters, Sean Hannerhan. You probably remember me mentioning him last week on the show. Now, Sean, if you're listening, I was just reiterating that I was not talking about you when I did that snooty little Melly Olsen voice. It was some other people, some unmentionables. But it was not you, good sir. However, it was you that scared the ever-loving bejeegers out of me during our last senior march in high school when you fell down the bleachers. You about sent me in cardiac arrest, buddy, so sorry to embarrass you, but you scared me to death, all right? So, shout-outs to Sean. And his son, who's growing by leaps and bounds. It's cool watching Hank do that. Facebook, real quick. Savannah D., the beautiful voice you hear at the very beginning of this show, from Covington. Brian C. from Peggs, Oklahoma, all the way from Peggs. Stormer, shout-outs to you. The Triple Lexican, Ray M. from Tulsa, the very controversial Ray M. From the Quad, Jeremy S., my man. From my stomping grounds currently, Jamie P. and Enid. He's going to be a future guest on the show. And now for the out-of-state shout-outs. Michael D., all the way from Minneapolis, Minnesota. I mean, the guy's based in Arkansas, but he basically hangs around there. And the people in Minnesota, they have an NPR radio show that sophisticated people listen to that I absolutely love. Those same sophisticated people are the ones that watch PBS and watch Blank Theater. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So, listen, Mike D., you passed by Bemidji. I want you to take a picture of that Paul Bunyan statue to see if it's as big as I was told. And finally, Angel H. from Westcliff, Colorado. All the way from Westcliff, my coffee-drinking angel. So here's your online shout-out. Love you all. So, with that being said, birthday shout-outs. Now, right as we speak, right now, on the 11th, today, right now, Lee Ellison celebrates his. Now, when I first met this dude, he looked like Mel Gibson, but then he shaved off his head. Now he looks like Bruce Willis. And who's to say that Friday the 13th is bad, and it's bad luck, and it's got bad karma? Shout-outs to Mrs. Stop, my mother. Mommy, love you. Love you, love you, love you. Happy birthday. Coming up this Friday. Cards in the mail. And then, if that's not good enough, the very next day, my Aunt Gloria on the 14th. Gloria Hammond on the 14th. Both 21, add a few. And then finally, Elizabeth Bird. She's going to be celebrating hers on the 15th. Now, who is she? I mentioned Rowdy Ford, us being down in kindergarten. Elizabeth Bird was my very first school crush. This girl was so cute. Liz, you still are, okay? Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you all.
You say it's your birthday. It's my birthday too. Don't be that, okay? Hey, Jules.
Now, before I get in the squared circle with our guest and get up close and personal with Fuel, the number to call is 347-633. Excuse me, I'm kind of giddy because the wifey made some chicken and I'm still doing my happy dance. 633-9630. 347-633-9630. Now, I'm going to go on to local news, and I'm going to make it real quick because I am looking forward to speaking with Fuel. In local news, a very much-needed win, and congratulations to my Oklahoma City Thunder as they completely mopped the parking lot with the keisters of the Bucks of Milwaukee. Now, after the past three losses, including to the Grizzlies, which I ranted about last week, I'm not even going to mention the Toronto game, but it's hard to believe we've got 9 more left to go. Can you believe that, folks? 9 more. But time flies by when you're having fun, especially at this game. Class, be glad yours truly was not there live in attendance at the Chesapeake Arena because I so would have got assaulted by a disgruntled Buck. I stopped watching the game, and I was more entertained with Larry Sanders, his temper tantrums, what with Sunders Perkins and Bach schooling him. Let me rephrase that. Punking him out. I mean, that was schooling him. That was just taking him to the rim. It was entertaining to me because before he was ejected, I probably would have got a chant going, hoping that the hashtag would, trend on Twitter, in regards to Larry Sanders, and it would have been Colonel Sanders, Colonel Sanders, and I'm hoping that trends, right? But then he got ejected, and I guarantee I would have done this. Sanders! Seriously, I would have. But y'all know me, I'm just obnoxious like that. Currently outside, the weather is 59 degrees. And folks, this is by the National Weather Service. I'm not going to quote anything else because we're supposed to have a nice Easter weekend. Don't hold me to that because Easter Sunday it was so cold that immediately after the egg hunt, we got in our car, bolted home, okay? 2 quick shout-outs, and then we're going to get on with Mr. Fuel. Shout out to Cynthia at Blog Talk Radio. Thank you very much for getting me through this. And to my guest last week, Lee Otis Hall. Once again, one more time, this is the last time I'm going to tell y'all. If you forget, that's your fault. 347-633-9630. I don't know why I keep messing that up, folks. I really don't know why. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to your On and his opponent, Robbie Austin. I'm sorry. Phil, thank you for coming on to this show again. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to come on our show again. The technical difficulties was a virtual nightmare, but, sir, we got through it. The good news is you have an extended interview time tonight. So rather than me peg you with all kinds of questions, because last night we tried to talk about KPWA, the backyard fed you started off in, got interrupted. We tried, we had our talk about Sid Vicious, got interrupted. You was able to plug the show, so here's what I want you to do. First of all, folks, I plugged my site and my email address, whatnot. Folks, you've got to go to www.uwe09.com to check out all the events going on in United Wrestling Entertainment. And basically, we're going to do what we call in the business going on the fly. Rather than me just ask questions, I'm going to let Mr. Fields speak on his behalf of not only himself, but his roster, because there was many questions I could have asked him last night. This guy has won so many titles in so many states. Just to name a few, him and his brother, Anarchy, went across border to Kansas. They were the innovators, and they were the GWF Tag Team Champions. He was a GWF Cruiserweight Champion. He was a Super Pro Cruiserweight Champion, Super Pro Heavyweight Champion, Super Pro Tag Team Champion. He was the UWE Champion. The only thing that you haven't done yet, good sir, is you haven't dethroned yours truly for the Sonic the Hedgehog Championship, which I'm really scared to put up against you because I don't want you taking my belt. So rather than go on and on about that, what I'd like you to do is, since I plugged your website, and I'm sure people will hit it up and check it out, they want to know more about the show. So if you would please, sir, plug the show and then kind of tell us a little bit about yourself. Phil, you're on.
All right. Coming up on April the 21st in Jay, Oklahoma at the Community Center, will be UWE Presents Out of Control. The main event of that event will be none other than a good buddy of mine, Mr. Primetime Brandon Walker, will team up with what Princess Brittany has been calling him a hound, so he has called himself the Cross Hound, Jonathan Cross. It'll be teaming for the first time ever against Mr. Terrific Tim Rockwell and Terry Cage in an out-of-control tag team match. Basically, it's tornado rules, and it's no disqualification, no count-out, anything goes. Plus, yours truly will be there as well, and plus many, many other stars such as Anarchy, Ecstatic, and her Big Smooth may be appearing at this show as well. And then after that, we have our big one, UWE's most dangerous event of the year return, May the 19th, Tahlequah, Oklahoma, at the Cherokee County Fairgrounds, Arena number 2. That one will be a very violent one, as Jonathan Cross will take on Terry Cage in a kendo stick match. And, you know, it's not going to be one of those ordinary little kendo stick matches where there's a little stick hanging up, you know, from the ceiling or whatever, and the first one gets to, you know, gets to use it. No. There's going to be kendo sticks surrounding the entire ring. There's probably going to be like 80 of them, and it will be nonstop kendo stick action. Also, Primetime Brandon Walker will be taking on Mr. Terrific Tim Rockwell in a tables match. And I have been told, because I finally have my UWE title rematch, yes, you heard that right, Princess Brittany is the UWE champion. And I've got my rematch, but I have been informed by my various sources that she has come up with a stipulation of some sort. I don't know. I'm not surprised. I guess we'll find out May 19th in Tahlequah, Oklahoma. Doors open at 5, show starts at 6.
Folks,
I'm going to be very curious to see what happens with that.
I was just about to say, don't let, you know, the fact that she's a princess and that she's a girl fool you. She's got a brilliant mind. I mean, I hate to say that, but she does, because she's found ways to manipulate not just you, but the whole UWE roster. Folks, when they go to Jay, they pack the house. I'm talking sometimes they run out of seats and people are still coming in and they don't mind standing. Cherokee County Building number 2, same thing. it would be advisable for you people, you good people,